Hey guys. Okay, so this week at Home Depot we got a bunch of tools. Let's start with the DeWalt section. We'll see later on the Makita and the Milwaukee. I personally like DeWalt, but hey, it's up to you. But it's usually the choice are driven by the battery. They're so costly that once you start having a tool or two, uh, well, you keep with the same brand because you can exchange battery between tools. So here you got name it, they got it. All kind of saw, angle saw, router, drills, impact gun. And now we're in the Makita, which is a very good brand also. And it's the same idea, nail gun and grinders and G-Proc screw drill. Yeah, and like I said, you can get pretty much the same in the brand. And when you go on YouTube and you look at some tests that they do, the DeWalt very often comes first. But hey, in my mind, between the three of them, now you see the Milwaukee's, they're all pretty much the same thing. I mean, okay, I'm just throwing a number, but what if the nail gun will put 95 nail in I don't know, in 2 seconds? I mean, the other one do 80 nail. I mean, are you really that, you know, you really need those 5 extra nail? I don't think that, that's gonna make your job run late, right? So it's a question of choice, but like I said earlier, the battery really drives your choice. But if you start and you want to know which brand, well, I would suggest the DeWalt. But hey, you go with specials sometimes, and to each his own. Nice equipment, though. I mean, the good. If you want to do a good job, you need a good tool. And if you take the right tool for the right job, and usually the result is it goes along. So you got some table saw as well, some miter saw. Now you're in the little tools section, so you got all kinds of different clamps and clamps if you want to hold stuff together. You're doing some woodwork, you're gluing stuff. Very handy to have. Not that expensive also, but here they got all kind of different sizes, portable vise. Yeah, so it's a little hand vise, little hand clamps, and name it, they got it. And it's those little one little clip are very very useful for light jobs. Sometimes you need a third hand, and this is it. So yeah, now you're in the some other wrench, adjustable wrench, pipe wrench. They're sold individually or in a pack. Uh, they have some angled ones. They have some vice grip, different sizes, different shape. They have a great choice. Yes. Yeah, and so again, same ideal, all kind of shape and sizes to do different type of work. Yeah, that's pretty much my go-to store when I need something. Sometimes I hate to go to a place, and they don't have. Then I have to go to another, and at the end I end up at Home Depot. So so here they get all kind of knife. Those famous Olfa knife. Again they're in either individually or in pack. And they also sell all the blades for the different knives. So yeah, you got a very good choice. They also have cutters, snip. That for those of you that use that are either in aviation or doing sighting. So they have right hand, left hand, the straights. Yeah, scissor, good pair of cutters there, like scissors, but they're cutters that they cut thin aluminum tin, and some miter saw from Ryobi. The walls. I like the walls, and I like the bench as well, the miter saw bench that you'll see in a second there. That's very useful. That you can put. There you go. You can put your saw on top, and then you work at the correct height. Some stud finders and tape, measuring tape, but stud finders. Different ladders, steps that are, different length, different sizes, and they're very light. Very good stuff. Very practical to have. You need the correct one. Make sure that you don't fall. Safety is number first in construction. You know that I think it's 30% of all the accident is falling the ladder. I mean, so having the right one for the right job is quite important, actually.